بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. How does one find Allah in one's daily life? In order to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to know something about Allah. And the key to knowing about Allah is to realize the meaning of La ilaha illallah, that there's no God but God. The Prophet ﷺ said that the best of what I and the Prophets before me came with is La ilaha illallah, is the statement that there's no God but God. To understand this statement, we have to understand the meaning of God. And it happened once on campus at the University of Toronto that there's an Egyptian brother who knew very little English, but he was standing at the da'wah table telling people about Islam, and an atheist came, and the atheist said to him, "You know what, I don't believe in God." And the Egyptian said, "You know what, I don't believe in the God that you don't believe in, but I believe in a God that you don't know about." So the atheist said, "Excuse me?" So he said, I don't believe in the God that you don't believe in, but I believe in a God that you don't know about." So the atheist said, "Could you explain that, please?" And he sat down. What is our understanding of God? Allah Most High has told us in the Quran about the meaning of God. The Prophet ﷺ told us that there's a surah in the Quran that is 1/3 of the Quran, and that is Surah Al-Ikhlas, which says, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say He is Allah the unique, Allah who's Samad, Allah is the independent. And this is 1/3 of the Quran. Why? Because Allah has defined Himself for us here. He's told us that He is the unique. The Creator is absolutely unlike His creation. He is absolute perfection and majesty. And He is a Samad, the independent, the one who needs no other, and the one whom all turn to in all their need. And then the Prophet ﷺ told us as well that Ayat al-Kursi is the greatest verse of the Quran. Why is it the greatest verse of the Quran? Because Allah has defined Himself for us in it. He has said, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Allah, there's no God but Him, the living, the sustaining. So Allah has told us that there's no God but Allah, and He is the living, the sustaining, the one who needs none for His existence, and whom all are in need of in order to exist. And not only did God give life to all else, but He is the sustaining. He needs none to sustain Him, and He sustains all else at every moment. This is our understanding of God, that God is the one who is unique, who is independent, who is living, and who is all sustaining. From this, the scholars have come up with a definition. This is the Quranic definition, the Quranic understanding of God, that God is the one absolutely free of need of any other, whom all are in absolute need of. This is what's understood about God from Surah Al-Ikhlas. This is what is understood about Allah from Ayat al-Kursi. And what does this tell us? It tells us not only about Allah, it tells us about Allah's creation. It tells us about our relationship with Allah. It tells us that Allah is in absolutely no need of anything, and that His creation are in absolute need of Him. Your neediness to Allah is intrinsic. You need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only when you feel a need, that you have an exam coming up, or you're trying to get a new job, or you're sick, or your mom's sick. Rather, your need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is at every moment. Your need of Allah is for your very life. Not only did He create you, He's the one who's sustaining you at every moment. And if you realize that your neediness to Allah is intrinsic, then you realize that your very life is a blessing, that everything you have is a blessing from Allah, everything around you is a blessing from Allah. And when you realize that, you start feeling thankful to Allah. And if you increase in realization of that, you grow in thankfulness to Allah, and you want to express your thankfulness in some way. And if you want to express your thankfulness to Allah in some way, you seek a way to be guided to His thankfulness, and you realize that everything that our religion comes with is an expression of your thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you continue to express that thankfulness, then you'll find love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the way to find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.